Hello and welcome to this in-depth analysis of the new D23 Expo Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer. I'm Tealgamemaster and joining me is Zimfan, or Waterblock, or real name. Feel free to call him real name. Refer to him by real name.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be a good name. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe to us, and please share this because we've found some really cool stuff. So when we start the trailer, we're greeted by it saying this will eventually be in English, and it's Japanese and stuff like that, and then it says Square Enix and the Disney logo, and then we're greeted by the stunning graphics, and it looks amazing. And I guess the first thing we'll notice is just how the command menu and how the characters look. They look nice, and they're bobbing their heads a little bit.
I did notice that before. I actually watched that the second time I went through.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I do like that. It looks a bit weird at the moment, but it'll probably improve. The command menu goes as follows. It says attack, item, magic, and then summon. So it's pretty much the same as before. Nothing is really explained about what the EX bar does. Not yet anyway, but I still think it's going to be forms, I'm pretty sure, especially with what we see in a bit, and we'll get to that after. Obviously there's shadows and large bodies, which are the same, and it seems that Sora's attacks are more ranged, because of, like, he just seems to have a bigger range with his attacks, and his combos seem to flow better, which is good. Now, there's one thing that you mentioned earlier to me.
Oh, yes. It says two-shoot blaster above the command menu, which makes me think that it's resembling those things from Birth by Sleep. I think they were called the finishers, I don't know, or the limits. But I'm a feeling that he's probably learned that ability from Aqua, so this probably takes place after that, after he rescues her. So that would only make sense that he would learn how to do those afterwards.
One thing to note specifically is with magic, Sora clearly uses fire, but he's not in the magic command, nor is he in a quick select command, so maybe you can cycle them with R2 and L2 or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but he does that. But also another thing to note, which is interesting, I don't know if it's a glitch in the game or if they haven't implemented it, but when he was using fire, his MP bar doesn't go down.
It was probably just thrown in, like, they probably threw the HUD afterwards.
Yeah, that's interesting, but Donald uses fire, and his MP bar does go down. So that's why that's kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, that is true.
So, yeah, that's weird. But with Two-Shoot Blaster, there's a bar, which is basically, I think Two-Shoot Blaster is a limit form. I think it's basically the limits of this game, because all of these that are shown seems to be based off Disney World in some way, and yeah, that's kind of, I think it's that they're the limit forms of the game. Maybe not all of them, but some of them are at least. And the bar is underneath the Two-Shoot Blaster, or whatever the name of the limit is.
Probably the limit of how long it lasts.
Yeah, which is
it actually goes down as they're using it.
Yeah, but the interesting thing to note is Donald and Goofy don't disappear, unlike in Kingdom Hearts 2. So that's quite a nice touch.
I did notice the models don't have a much like motion to them right now, but that's probably because it's so early. Yeah.
The Struggle Tournament poster's still in the background, so that's still a thing.
I do like the lots of detail put into Twilight Town this time around with, like, the vines, and it just makes it actually look like there's actually sunlight instead of just being everything lit up at once. It really just brings it out, and I don't know, generally. The sky just looks fantastic. The
shadows seem to take much longer than normal to kill. It takes 2 full combos, so that makes me think it's either early and in the game and it's Proud Mode, or later in the game. So yeah, that's.
Or it could be like, it could be like in maybe like the first or second visit, because it could be any time at all. Or it could just be testing out things in general.
Possibly, yeah.
It could have just been a room. I've also noticed that the models still kind of look a lot stiff. Like, right after he uses his power shooter command, he literally just, like, stops and, like, doesn't move. It, like, his animation just is stiff. And I was kind of just expecting that because it was so early in development at the moment. Yeah. It was just, like, just testing for things. But I'm hoping that he would flow back to his normal stance, like, he would just flow back to however he was standing beforehand, how he did the move.
Yeah. One more thing that I noticed, and no one else has, to my knowledge, in the background, the way to the mansion is completely sealed off. It's just a brick wall.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, sealed off for the first time ever, I think. It's actually sealed off. You can't get to it. So yeah, that's kind of interesting, I think. That either it's not in the game.
Posters over it, it
yeah,
seems.
either it's not in the game or it's just it's blocked off for some reason. So yeah, that's a thing. Okay, so let's move on to the pirate ship segment. Again, I think this is a limit form because if you look at the command menu, there's only two options, which is roll splash and jump off. And I think yeah, it's slightly different to Kingdom Hearts 2, where there was the command menu and triangle with reaction commands, but they seem to have got rid of that, which is fine. It seems to work quite well. But again, Donald and Goofy seem to be there. If you can see, Donald's on above the mast, so he's having fun there.
Yeah, I don't see Goofy.
He's probably at the back.
Yeah, he's probably at the back part.
One thing that, again, not many people noticed, the sky is darker. There may be a day and night cycle in this game.
That'd be interesting.
The sky is
I did notice it was a lot darker than normal because they probably wanted to bring out the light. Possibly,
but it definitely is significantly darker in the sky itself. So that's quite interesting, I think. Anything you want to add to the pirate ship segment?
Not really.
Apart from that, it's very awesome.
And it's very, very quick.
Yes, it is.
It's still in the same room
as
the first segment.
Yes, it is. Yes. Now we move on to the final section, which is the Rock Titan fight, which is the Big Magic Mountain. Again, I think limit, probably. It says raid, ride, jump, dodge, and jump off. And it's stunning. It reminds me a lot of the Hydra fight when you're on Pegasus.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And the bar of magic, the limit bar actually does go down.
But it's interesting because, yes, it does. But it's actually interesting because you know how, like, people were complaining in Kingdom Hearts 2, like, oh, reaction commands are too easy, you just mash triangle and it works. Well, it seems here that, obviously, the raid ride, you have to, and the jump dodge, you have to time it yourself, it seems. Which is very cool, because he's punching you, and then you have to time it, instead of just pressing triangle at any random time. You just have to know it. So that's cool. I like that a lot. And it looks like Rock Titan actually might be a threat in this game.
Like, he kind of wasn't really in the first game. I'm actually, if this is how it's going to be happening, this kind of looks like Mount Olympus.
Yeah,
it looks like you were climbing Mount Olympus. They might actually bring the story of the first Hercules instead of just being the Colosseum.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because one thing I want to point out, after he does the jump dodge attack, if you look at the bar, it cuts from about 3/4 left to half, and then down to 1/4 left, which makes me think they cut it out purely because it spoils whatever's around there, and I think it's Mount Olympus. Because in the film, obviously, all of the Titans take over every aspect of Mount Olympus, so maybe you fight all of them, which would be quite cool.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's what I'm thinking happens, but because they cut off a good portion of it, so I think it is something to do with.
And to finally see a debut of the Air Titan and the Lava Titan in this game.
Yeah, and maybe Cyclops as well.
Ooh, maybe Cyclops. I would love just the original story of the first Hercules instead of just being a regular Colosseum.
No, I think it will be.
House.
I think it will be, which is very exciting.
And I know people might be like, oh no, they're rehashing Olympus Coliseum. If they're doing it the way that we're thinking of, then it's going to be completely different than what we actually experienced before.
Yeah, that is true. And it looks like the train is about to smash into the Titan and completely destroy it, which is cool.
That is also true. And also here you can also see they zoom in on Donald and Goofy's face, which again don't really have any emotion at the moment.
Yeah.
Just because they're just brand new models thrown in here just to test this out.
Yeah, and a few side things to mention. It's always the Kingdom Key, and Sora's health is unusually high. Like, it goes beyond the MP bar, which is quite bad. Like, well, not bad, it's just, it's weird, but his health is that high. Well, it's good to see classic music return as well.
Oh, yes. I'm really happy to see that music. I'm also really happy to hear if there's any new music coming out.
Yeah, there will be, of course, but it's great to see classic music. Did they announce anything else apart from the trailer? Because I heard Riku and Sora are getting different costumes.
I read an article about them getting new costumes, which is not really surprising since it's a new
I quite like
title.
it. I quite like his Kingdom Hearts 2 outfit though, so it's going to be weird to see that go.
I'm also questioning how he'll get the new outfit since the one he's currently wearing still fits him.
Yeah.
And he didn't really get it that long ago, even though it's been 7 years in real life.
Yeah, true.
It's only been not even a year in game.
Well, that's the in-depth analysis discussion thing. I think a lot of things have been covered, and obviously some very interesting points that a few people haven't noticed yet. So, or like at all. So that's quite cool. All aboard the literal hype train that'll crash into the Rock Titan. Choo choo!
Oh man, I can't wait.
Of course, it's going to be amazing. Well, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and share it and whatnot so more people can learn the secrets about the game that we know of so far. So, thank you very much and see you later.